They're used to political earthquakes, but Washington, D.C. has been recovering from a real one, and it was big, measuring 5.9. The Pentagon was evacuated and panicked office workers ran into the streets. The epicenter was 140 kilometres southwest of the U.S. capital, but it was felt as far away as Chicago in the west and New York in the north. And among those who sought cover was Washington correspondent Jane Cowan.
Ros, I was in the office and the walls did start to shake, and it went on for a few seconds and then a few seconds longer, and we were all out of our chairs by that stage and beginning to stand in door frames for some sort of protection, but then decided it was better to get out of the building altogether. Once we got outside, it was obvious we weren't the only ones. Everyone had spilled into the street, and then word began to spread that the Pentagon, the White House, the Capitol had all been evacuated, and then we also heard that some stone had fallen off the spire at the National Cathedral. So it was obvious something serious had happened, and it was quite disruptive to an otherwise pleasant late summer day here in Washington.
Now, we're used to hearing about quakes on the west coast of the states, not so much the east, so people must have been very confused about what was happening.
That's right, Ros, and most people initially tended to think that it was a terrorist attack. So it gives you some idea of the headspace here in America still so long after September 11. There were sirens in the street and it was quite a disconcerting feeling. It was confusion that wasn't helped by the fact that the phone networks went down in the immediate aftermath. Trains were stopped on their tracks while the tracks were checked for damage. At the Reagan National Airport near here, tiles had reportedly fallen from the ceiling and flights were grounded. So these pictures did then begin to come in too of not wholesale destruction but piles of bricks from walls collapsed here and there, and there was even a report that a car had been crushed under some bricks. So it was something that did cause quite a lot of disruption. In New York, for instance, the District Attorney, Cyrus Vance, was in the middle of a press conference about the Dominique Strauss-Kahn case.
For generations, this standard has protected. Okay. So no, okay. I've been through earthquakes in Seattle all over.
So, Jane, given how strong the quake was and the fact that it happened in the middle of the day, it is incredible that the damage wasn't worse and that no one was killed.
It is quite amazing. It's certainly nothing like the quakes that the west coast of America is accustomed to. But at this stage, it does seem, Ros, to have been more of an emotional jolt for a country that is preparing to commemorate the terrorist attacks of September 11 and is also eyeing this impending threat with Hurricane Irene off the coast and threatening to strike land later this week.
Jane, thank you.
Thanks, Ros.